Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Hashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles, elder bishops of the great millstone where I learned this truth 100% according to the Bible. I also want to say shalom to the elect, the 144,000, the men, prophets, servants scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to you, Akwaf, which are you few sisters out there that are sincere in your children, shalom. And in today's video is going to be building off of the latest news of what you have occurring, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you brothers and sisters already may know, that you had this situation occur in Minneapolis where you had this person that was, unalived by ICE again, so you got things that are happening, man. And we see that things are heating up, man. You got protests and things of that nature that are now, occurring in Minneapolis due to this situation. So we continue to see things escalate, man. And it's ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the one that's turning the temperature up here in this place, America, and ultimately throughout the earth, because we understand and know that we're at the end of an age, the end of Esau's, rulership, the end of this world as these people know it. And that's why we continue to see things ultimately happening and occurring. And it's going to get worse, man. You see, so I'm actually end up grabbing the precept real quick. This is St. Luke chapter 12, verse 51. It says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell you neighbor, rather division, right? And that's what we see here in America, especially, man. You see this place is divided on all sides, man. You got the people going against the government, the people against ICE. I mean, people, that are, divided by political parties and things like that, the right versus the left, MAGA versus, this and that, this place, America, is just completely divided, right? And we know that this division is ultimately going to lead to, everything in which it is that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring to this place in the very near future, because we know civil unrest, chaos and all of these things is part of the prophecies that the Lord is going to bring to this place, man. You see, it tells you how, people shall stand up to fight against each other with swords in their hands, right? That's going to take place soon out here in America. And we see that through, everything that ICE is doing, because eventually these people are going to get tired of, protesting and things like that, man, and they're eventually, going to take matters into their own hands. This is what we ultimately see coming, right? But it's the Lord that's, allowing these things to take place, and the one that's stirring up everything. Because guess what? Like I said, we're at the end of this place, America, man. You see, so we just going to continue to see things happen more and more, man, ultimately leading to what's coming, right? So I'm actually grab Matthew chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 25. We're going to read that in the KJV. It says, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And that's what's coming to America. This place is about to be desolate. The Lord is about to destroy this damn place, man. Right. That's why we see all of the chaos unfolding. And that's why we continue to see things ramping up more and more in this country, man. You see, because things ain't going to get better like a lot of you people out there like to believe. Oh, America's going to go back to the good old days when this place was great, because this devil, Nero, he ultimately promised you American people, you Babylonians, that he's going to make this place, good again. And a lot of people believe that. But hey, ain't nothing coming to America good. But, what the Lord is bringing to this place, which is destruction, man. You see, that's what's coming to America, right? It said, and Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And that's what we see, man, this place, America, being divided against itself. So we know that this place will not stand for very much long, man, that this place is about to fall, man. You see? And like I said, we know that chaos and, civil unrest and all of these things is what's coming down the pipeline, man, right? As it tells us right here. Let me grab 2nd Ezra 15. Right, because this is the time we're in, man. That's why we continue to see things only heating up more and more, because this is what the Lord is about to bring, man. Right. And we always go into these things, you see, but this is what's coming. 2nd Ezra 15, I start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe meaning destruction, man, because that's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to bring upon this place. Great destruction. Verse 15, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, right? When something is nigh, that means that it's fastly approaching, it's near, right? And these things that, the men of the Lord, starting out with the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone and the men on down teaching the same doctrine and truth and sincerity, we've been warning you so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indians through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua that these things are close, man. All hell breaking loose in America, things getting worse, things, turning up, this is what's about to happen. This is what we see the stage being set for, and this is all prophecy, man. Right? It says, verse 14 again, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And those modern day swords are the guns, right? And that's what you're going to have a lot of these American people soon come resulting to, man, because it's going to get that bad out here real soon, you know? Verse 16, it says, for there should be sedition among men, right? And we're going to look up the meaning to that word sedition, right, on the AI overview on Google, because this is what we see, ultimately, arising here in America. But hey, it's going to intensify. It's going to get worse. Right. And the meaning to sedition goes into conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority or state or monarch. So it's basically going into people, rebelling against the government. Right. And that's what you're going to have happening real soon, man. You're going to have a lot of people fighting against these ICE agents. You're going to have people, taking matters into their own hands. Right. This is what's coming down the pipeline. This is why we see all of these things happening. This is not happening by coincidence. No, these things happen because the Lord is making it happen, But I'm going to get back to it. It says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? That's going into, these politicians, the police officers, etc. These ICE agents. Hey, people ain't gonna be regarding these people soon come, man. Like I said, you got the majority of the American people, they're ready to take matters into their own hands already. That's why you got a lot of these TikTok videos and Instagram videos of people voicing their opinion on how they feel. You got a lot of people already ready to do stuff, man. And hey, it's the Lord that's, putting the spirit on these people to be in that mindset, because hey, we know what's coming, man. You see, all of this stuff is all going according to prophecy. That's what's coming. That's what we see playing out here. The words about Shimi Abishai, the Lord's counsel, right? His plans. It says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, you're going to have people out here doing whatever, man. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because, hey, they going to lock these cities down, right? Once all hell begins to break loose, once these civil wars and these people begin to bug out and start looting and doing all of the crazy stuff that's going to occur soon come, hey, these devils going to lock down these cities, man, with the military. That's why it's no coincidence you got Nero Trump talking about invoking the Insurrection Act in Minneapolis, right? That's on the table, right? Because we know that martial law is coming to this place, America, man. They finna lock this place down. It says, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, right? The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. This is what's coming, man, right? Men shall be afraid with how bad things are about to get out here in this country, man, right? Scriptures say a time like no other, right? And that's what we're in the beginning stages of. That's why we only going to continue to see things worsen, man. It ain't going to get better, right? So I'm going to get into this video that I have here, basically of the situation of what occurred in Minneapolis. It's a short video, so I'm going to just allow it to play. And then we'll grab, a few scriptures and, Abarat be edifying. But with that being said, fair use. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use.
I'm near the intersection in downtown Minneapolis where federal agents reportedly shot a man earlier this morning. Agents are deploying tear gas, flashbang grenades, trying to disperse the crowd that is gathered. And people are chanting, "Go home, Nazis." I spoke with a witness who said that she saw the man shot at a bus stop in the chest. She was sobbing, and other people have come out. People are in shock. At another fatal shooting this month. The mood is tense, and an agent responding to the protesters went boo-hoo. So agents have been mocking the people that have come out here.
Right. So you see from the little video I played of what's going on right now in Minneapolis, man, you got the people basically, throwing rocks and things like that at these ICE agents and things like that. But like I said, this is ultimately only setting the stage for what's coming, which is, like I said, the civil unrest, the chaos and everything that, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to unleash, upon this place, America. Right. But let me actually end up grabbing Second Esdras chapter 9, right? Because, that scripture, that chapter, I should say, it tells you, that these things will be happening, right? And why they're happening, right? I'm actually read it. I'm going to start at verse 1. It said, he answered me then and said, measure out the time diligently in itself, right? And how do you measure the time diligently? By looking at the prophecies, right? Looking at what the scriptures say and aligning it with what you see happening in earth, right? And we see that everything, Lord Yahushua said would be happening 2,000 years ago. We see these things happening now. We see the earthquakes in diverse places. We see the kingdoms going against kingdom. We see, we're hearing of the wars and rumors of wars that's going on. So, I mean, the signs are speaking, you know. It says, and when thou seest parts of the signs past, which I've told you before, verse 2, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and that's what you have going on. You see, uproars of the people goes into protests, what you have going on in Minneapolis, due to that scenario with ICE. All of this is, part of the prophecies, man. This is what we see happening, prophecy playing itself out, right? It says, verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And that's where we're at, man. You see, that's why we only going to continue to see things get worse, because we at the end of this place, America, man. This place ain't going to bounce back like a lot of you people out there like to believe. This place is through, man. Hey, the Lord is about to destroy this damn place, man. And that's why we only going to continue to see things escalate and intensify in this country, man. You see? So, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing, I pray it be edifying. I'm in the video giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash, and double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the great millstone, where I learn this truth 100% according to the Bible. Till the next time, I'm going to say, Kwam Yasharala and Shalom to the elect. Shalom.